vlog somewhere. I'm going to eat a whole bunch of noodles right now. I'm going to finish editing yesterday's vlog. I already finished editing yesterday's vlog yesterday, but there are a couple of clips in there that got cut off because of my battery was dying, so I'm going to just reassemble it a little bit, just make a couple of tiny little changes, and then export it again, and then upload it to YouTube. And then I'm going to write a bunch today. Great, so that's what's on the agenda today. Also, it snowed like 6 inches last night. I'm not fucking around. And the dog was outside just now, being a detective, trying to figure out which animals were eating the carrot tops out of the bowl I put outside that needs to go into the compost today. So here's a clip of that. Okay, it's actually quite warm out. I'm wearing my Doc Martens I've had for like 15 years. They're not exactly winter boots, but they'll do. Need to get real winter boots. But yeah, this is the universe. Much different look than yesterday, hey? Well, we're gonna go to the dirt road again. The dog's real excited again. Wait. Wait. There's quite a bit of traffic on this street. So these boots were not great. I guess I should tie them tighter and higher next time. See if there's snow in this one. And do that. I can tell you for sure there will be. Oh! Yo! So to all those people out there who wish for snow, or who live in a climate that don't have snow. Okay, stop wishing for snow and thank your fucking lucky stars, because it's cold. It's not nice, and I don't like it. Oops. Okay, so I talked a couple of days ago about how I'm writing a book and how I need to plot out the story for the next section. Yeah, so I need to plot out the next section. So I thought we would talk about it. I've got all my notes here for the next section. It's a lot. It's all my research. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I am going to talk about how to plan a narrative. So for ease of writing and for consistency in tone, and also to make sure that your story is concise and that you're writing a quality narrative. Got my lukewarm green tea here. That steeped at the right temperature for the right time because it's good. It's kind of sweet. Sometimes it's a little bitter. Okay, so we're gonna start by, I've got this legal sized sheet paper here. So I'm gonna start by drawing a story arc on the piece of paper. So I'm sure you've all seen this before. This is, I mean, we've all used it in school. It's probably one of those things where you thought, like, this is something I'm never going to use in my life. But I use it all the damn ass time. It's perfect for me. So I'm going to mark out 3 different places, spots on my story arc diagram. You can see it's where the angle changes on the actual graph. The first point, which is down here, this first line, nothing really goes on here. This is like an introduction. I guess you'd be introducing, depends on your story, but for me in this particular story, I'll be introducing the characters, kind of describing myself, because it is first-person memoir style writing. It's not exactly an autobiography, but I am telling a story from my life. Okay, so this will be like the introduction of the characters. Now here is the point, the first point here. That's the point where the story begins. In all stories, there's a point in which the narrative begins. So someone makes a mistake, someone makes an action to change their life or to change the route of their life in that moment. Some circumstance that is not of anyone's control happens. So someone dies, you meet a person, you spill your coffee. Okay, yeah, that's the classic. That's the classic romantic comedy kind of thing. You walk into someone and you spill your coffee on them. And you meet a new person, and thus the story begins. Because the story is about those two people falling in love and the awful things that happen to dissuade that love from happening. Okay, so that's the first point. Okay, and then all this blobbity doobity happens between then and whatever. And then the climactic moment happens. And the climactic point is the point where basically everything goes awry. Like the worst part. Oh, here comes the dog. Come on. Get in. That's when, you need more room? That's when everything goes wrong, everything goes awry. And then the third point is the resolution. What brought the story to an end? So this is the intro to, if this is the intro to characters, then this section, the final parentheses, the conclusion, the where are they now, or what happened, or whatever. So it's kind of like a reintroduction to the characters, but you're saying goodbye, but you're introducing the characters as to how they've changed because of the story arc. So they're new people. Okay, so that is the basics of how to put together a story, or how to map out a story. Alright, we'll see you soon. Bye! Okay, I'm going to bring back Conversation Starters World. What are some things you had to unlearn? Okay, let's talk about that. This is going to be a deep, dark, and depressing conversation. So, my mom is really paranoid about pedophilia growing up. So, and I think she mostly was afraid. Well, she kind of has some internalized misogyny. Let's be real about it. So she was afraid that I was going to get sexually assaulted, I think, both as a child, and also as a teenager, a young adult, all that. And like, let's be real, that is what happens a lot of the time to women and to girls. She was much, much, much more protective over me. Much more. Like, I wasn't allowed to go anywhere as a kid. I was basically not even allowed to leave my block, but mostly even my yard, because she was just so paranoid. So that instilled a lot of fear in me. Not specifically about being sexually assaulted, but just in general. And that fear, I think, really stopped me from accomplishing, stopped me from putting myself out there as much as I could have. And to doing the things that, like, I was afraid to do things because, I don't know, it just felt, I just felt scared to put myself out there. I didn't feel capable because I think my mother's fear and the difference between how she treated my brothers and how she treated me, I think that really instilled an idea that, like, I was different, I was weaker, I was incapable, I wasn't, up to the responsibility, or no, up to, not the responsibilities, but up to, claiming my independence. That's the best way that I could figure out how to say it. Yeah, it wasn't up to claiming my independence and claiming my worth, claiming my capabilities, claiming my potential, because I was just felt inferior, and felt incapable, I guess, or just felt weak. I felt weak. Over the last couple of years, I've gone through a lot of stuff. spent a lot of time at therapy and regaining, you know, finding my space in the world in which, you know, I should take up, and learning that I can take up space, and learning that, you know, my personal strengths, you know, my dreams and my dreams are not just folly, fucking bullshit ideas. That they're actually not dreams at all. They're goals. They're accomplishable. I can accomplish the things that I, you know, lay in bed thinking about when I can't sleep. You know, the things that I really want to do with my life, and the things that, like, I imagine. That's the thing I had to unlearn. Internalized misogyny. I mean, my mom, she was coming from a place that I think a lot of parents and a lot of mothers, especially around that time, came from. A fear-based place where they wanted to protect their kids. Unfortunately, I think if you hold too tightly onto things or people, that it ends up doing the opposite of what you intended. So I had a really hard time feeling empowered. I think that's going to I think that's going to shock people that know me, that I had a hard time feeling empowered. Because I think I seem empowered. I am empowered now. There's been times in my life, especially during my teenage years, where I was, you know, shrugging or like giving the fucking finger to an authoritative ideas like that. And so I may have seemed fearless at those times. And maybe I was. I can't confirm whether or not I was fearless at those times. I certainly can remember, I certainly perceive myself, like, especially in my teenage years, as being quite independent and quite fearless. Maybe as I began to age, those ideas that I had, you know, filtered into my mind as a child started to take hold a little bit more, because when you get older you get more pragmatic and you become more responsible. Maybe that's when the fear started to set in. I don't know, but the bottom line is, yeah, I had to unlearn being fearful. I had to learn how to take up space and own my worth, and to take risks and to do the things that I have been dreaming of. You know, things that I promised myself I would do and then I just never got around to doing it, not because I'm lazy or because I don't work hard or whatever it is. It's because I think I was afraid that I didn't really deserve it. But now, you know, I'm writing this book. I have this YouTube channel. These are two things that, like, I wanted to do for a long time. It's happening. It's all happening. And it's because I relearned the spontaneity and the lack of rigidity and the lack of fear that I had as a child. And I learned how to be, you know, in myself and proud of who I am, and to see my dreams not as, you know, far-fetched ideas, but as accomplishable goals and as skills and and attributes and traits that I already have within myself. It's something that I have to aspire to be. It's just work that I have to. But I think there's a lot of women out there who can learn from this. And I hope that you do. And I hope that if you're watching this, that you can be, you know, inspired a little bit by the small amount of information that I've given you, and just know that your dreams are accomplishable. They're not dreams at all, they're goals. So, get it, honeys! So I think this is the last I'm going to talk to you guys today. So, thanks so much for watching. I'm really pumped up about the YouTube channel, and I hope you guys come back and are real interested in all the things that I'm doing and saying, and like the edits and all that stuff. Please feel free to comment. I'm really pumped up to hear what you guys have to say about everything. Yeah, comment, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye!